The embers look warm, but I don't care. I'm going to leave them to smoulder on their own. I don't want the warmth. On this cold winter evening, I want to feel the discomfort. I'm Adam Roxby, and this is the Embers Podcast, an occasional show where I share provocative ideas and have enlightening and entertaining conversations with guests. So why did I leave the warmth in order to be here outside in the cold? It's because I've found a value in suffering and have embraced discomfort. This philosophy has really been developed over many years, and it's also associated with the conversation I had with you last time about the disconnected relationship I have with my body. And it's also inspired by the teachings of David Goggins and about his callous mind theory. In some ways, I think I've always been a little bit suspicious of comfort and pleasure. Somehow the argument that we as human beings should seek out this state of innocuous cushioned serenity doesn't seem right. For an animal that has evolved to survive in a variety of hostile conditions, to now wanting to be in a warm bed, in a heated house, and only to leave to get out into a warm air-conditioned car to arrive at a warm office doesn't seem natural. I began exposing myself to extremes of temperatures, especially cold therapy, to remind my body what it feels like to be shocked. The cold showers, which have been well documented to be beneficial for both physical and mental health, was a great addition to my routine. That brief shock of cold exposure just energizes and revigorates. There's an old adage that I heard that you may not always like the person going into the cold, but you're certainly going to like the person who come out. That rang true for me, and it does help me motivate to continue this uncomfortable habit. Now, beyond these little acts of physical discomfort and tribulations, I've also tried to follow the teachings of David Goggins. Now, an oversimplification of his theory is that through multiple exposures to hardship and suffering, your mind can become strengthened. So when some form of hardship presents itself that's not from your own doing, then you'll be in a better position to be able to handle that. This logic intuitively makes sense to me. For example, jumping into a cold plunge pool is always going to be unpleasant and require a bit of mental fortitude, but I'd much rather be doing it on the 100th time than go through it for the first time again. I never liked the expression no pain, no gain, as it always had a little bit of a sinister, overtly masculine connotation to it, but with all of these sayings, there always seems to be an element of truth to it. Nothing that I ever really wanted or achieved in my life was done throughout trial and adversity. I thought of the many opportunities that I could have given up, and then I wouldn't have achieved anything that I wanted. Now, I want to take you on a journey with me before I enter the warmth and leave this cold and dark place. And the journey is one that hopefully you'll see the benefits from. I want you to try and expose yourself a little bit each day to some form of discomfort, be it physical or mental. They say each day you should do something that scares you. Well, I guess so, but if we could start with something that just makes you feel a little bit out of your comfort zone, then hopefully over time you'll start to notice that you'll see the positive benefits. There's a saying that I sometimes subscribe to, that if you start doing things that people don't, you'll soon end up doing things that people can't. But anyway, give it a try. Maybe start with 30 seconds of just showering yourself in cold water after you've finished soaking yourself in a nice warm power shower. Let me know how you get on. Right, back inside. Central heating is on, so can't complain too much. I've had my discomfort for the day. Thanks for joining me. You can find all the previous episodes of this podcast over at theemberspodcast.com. And I look forward to speaking to you next time, where, for the first time on this show, we're going to have a guest. So, looking forward to that. Please do feel free to send me your comments and get in touch. And I look forward to speaking to you again. next time, really soon.